All right. It's 11:38 p.m. March 23rd. I am exhausted, and I'll elaborate on my exhaustion in a little second. Just let me set up that light and maybe grab the microphone. Wearing my Adidas hoodie today because we're just feeling like that right now, and it is cold as a mother. See, like usually I'll have my light and everything set up before I start. This time I could not care enough about it. Holy shit. There we go. There's my wire. Oh. There's my wires and stuff. I really hope this is the right mic, because if it's not, this is gonna suck. Hopefully it is. Okay. I'm gonna cross my legs. I'm gonna relax a little bit. I have a shit ton of homework to do. Like a godly amount. I only think if I were to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I only finished 1/7 of the amount of work I have to do. My hamstrings are cramping. I should drink a little bit more water. I'll go grab a water bottle in a second. As a matter of fact, this is my YouTube channel. I will go grab a water bottle right now, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, where were we? So, I need to shave. I'll be quite frank. Can't really tell in the video. I'm honestly just out of the shower. So, March 24th. I didn't go to school this morning. I'll be quite honest. It was a review day for both of my major classes, chemistry and calculus. And so I told myself, I'm going to sleep in, get some well-needed rest, and crank out all the homework that I need to when I'm well rested and my mind can absorb what I'm learning. And for the most part, that went really well. I did 3.2 curve sketching for calculus. Just kind of seeing when you take the slope of the tangent, your first derivative, and you are kind of sketching with conditions. You're sketching the original function that meets the conditions given your first derivative conditions and maybe an inflection point or so. It wasn't bad stuff, and that might sound like gibberish to most people, but it truly isn't bad if you are at least semi-familiar with calculus. With that, I haven't touched chemistry yet. I plan on staying up a little bit tonight. Tomorrow's Saturday, and although I did make a lot of progress in my training, which I'll get to in a second, I got so fed up. Like, I'm not even fully done 3.2, but I made my way through a majority of it. It's a pain. It's a big pain. So with that being said, on to on to the rest of the day. So I finished school 2:30, the regular. I got all my, I was sent an email today. Sorry, tooth. I'll talk about my tooth in a little bit. So, sent an email today regarding Valedictorian. I apologize if my voice is a little bit low, but it's fairly late in the night and I'm also tired. But I just wanted to get a video in just so that I'm not too vacant from the YouTube channel. And it's relatively nice to keep a little, like a little update or reflection on the day before you move into the next. With that, around, I would say 11:30, maybe 12. I think 11:30. Around 11:30, I received an email from the graduation committee at my school, as I made it evident that I'm running for valedictorian, my graduating class of 2022 to 2023, and I had finished the first part of it, which is getting in my student teacher endorsements, and we moved on to the second part. Here comes my cat. And we moved on to the second part where excuse me, where we had to get our 15 student endorsements, and I already had my 15 laid down, but I couldn't get everyone, and so I decided to work my way around the school and get enough endorsements. Oh, he's gonna jump. And get enough endorsement. There he is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can see yourself, buddy. Man, I can't even see myself anymore. You're blocking me. I closed off the window, buddy. Could you get out of the way? Yeah, I know you can't see anything. Oh my god. Oh, don't hit the computer, man. Get your butthole out of here. Okay, he figured it out. Go. Jump. Jump, Okay. So, 11:30, I got an email to continue on with the valedictorian process. And I got my 15 student votes. And I made sure they were confirmed. And thankfully, I had a lot of support from my friends and generally the people around me, even my teachers as well. It was a fun day. I got some rest. I got my votes in. And moving on, I finished up school around 2:30 and went to the library, in which I sat down for I think about an hour and a half, maybe an hour. Ate a little bit, got my got 3.2 done, and with that I went up to train. This is around 4:35. Sorry, 4:30 to 5, something like that. And I trained for 4 hours. I shit you not. I beat that bag in for 4 hours straight. I did not leave that gym until 9:20. So, what did I do for 4 hours? That's a great question. I just worked really hard on just generally moving with, like, I've been boxing and moving with my punches, getting my head movement down, and my footwork, which had been very stiff of recently, but I got really good at maneuvering around the bag. Similar to like a peekaboo style, but just getting open and getting to where I need to get to. And I felt very light on my feet, and I got to a point where my right hand wrist started to ache a little bit, and so I took off my wraps and I took off my gloves, and I just started kind of like, I would say slap boxing to an extent, but just making sure I can touch. Just get a touch and then back off. Touch, back off, and move and duck and weave. And I got into a kind of flow that it felt like I was boxing, and my right hand still could punch, so I still balled up my fist, and I made sure like I could still hit with hooks where I needed to, jabs, because I'm orthodox, so I fight with my dominant hand's my right hand, and it was amazing. And I had the entire gym staring at me, and regardless of that though, I had a young a junior to me at my school, and I've seen him around my school, and he came up to me and he was like, could I get he wanted, a lot of kids have done this so far, let's say around 10 in total, but this guy came up to me and he just messed around with the bag a little bit because he saw me punching, and he saw me doing like bag work. And then he's like, I want to learn how to fight. I'm like, I can't teach you exactly how to do that, but I can give you a couple tips. So I just let him go on the bag for a little bit. And I told him to get into a stance. What's your dominant hand? Ball up your fist up properly. Don't put your hands, because that was his problem. He could always put his hands like right up here against his face. And I told him I showed him like face towards me, and then try and punch me. And I dodged his punch, and then when I went to go punch him, I didn't punch him right, but I just slapped his hand, and his hand hit him back here, and I told him listen, that could be a problem later down the line, so just don't even get in the habit of it. And we worked on it, and then we worked on his head movement with his feet, and he had good feet work because of his wrestling background. I think he was in grade 10, so I'd be 2 years older than him. But he was overall really good. I taught him a couple kicks and an elbow. And yeah, it was a fun time. And then by the end of that, that was earlier. I'd say around 7 to 8. But come 9, I bruised that bag so hard. Really, really kicked it in. Really dented the shit out of it. But it was amazing. Let out so much frustration. Not I won't even say it's pent up frustration. I could honestly just say it was relaxing. It was extremely relaxing. I've been watching jiu-jitsu videos as of recently, and it's insane to see the progression of these of how to fight. And I showed the guy a little bit. I'm like, listen, boxing is great for striking, but it has a major downfall. I mean, your feet are engaged to a certain strength and to a certain extent with your hands, but you have no kicks. Someone gets a hold of your legs, or you get on the ground, you're like a baby. So I told him, BJJ guys, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, I mean, dude, you throw one wrong punch, not even, they just go down for your legs. You know what I mean? Hit you with a takedown, hit you with a choke, and you're just done. Your striking is gone. And Taekwondo guys, they'll just keep you away, and they'll just bruise you with kicks. Judo guys, if they're good enough, deal with a little bit of your striking, grab you, and throw you across the room. So boxing is great, I took to start off with, but I always find myself being humbled by, at least, especially the more I train, the more I look back and reflect on where I was before I started training. I was a baby. I had no idea how to throw a punch properly, how to move, how to duck and weave, nothing. And even now, I'm still a baby. I still have a lot to work on, because there are just so many guys out there that will just tear me apart. And I don't train for that. I train for the enjoyment of it, because I like it, and because it is one of the most therapeutic things I've done so far in my training, closing into 4 or 5 years now. I started off with bodybuilding. I did a little bit of powerlifting I didn't get too into, but I got to a place in my physique that I was very proud of. And not only was it the confidence that I got from myself, but being not attract, but like to the other gender, attracting themselves to me and just being able to move with them easier. And other men, who are training similar to you and they respect your work ethic. It's awesome. It's amazing to see. And so I'm continuing to go down this road, and I found that I've had steps in terms of my path of learning, I'll say. And I talked about this in a previous video, how important learning how to learn or learning how to love learning is. And it's because I would say it started off with bodybuilding, and then I got curious about powerbuilding. It's always why. Like, why and what, and asking those really powerful questions. Not even very specific, just why am I bodybuilding? What is the point? What do I want to do at the end of this? I want a better physique? Okay. But then, what am I going to do with that physique? I mean, I can look good, but I can look good a lot of different ways. Just training in general, you can get very good looking. Fixing your haircut, learning how to talk properly, presenting yourself using body language, and is very important. And so over time, I turned over that leaf where it's like I can consider myself, and I say this out of no spite, but just because of what I've heard from others and my personal experiences, I can say that I have gotten to a point of like being fairly attractive. And I got very proud of that. I was happy from where I was. I've made insane progress. And so I kept asking, why, how, what? And then I found myself, I'm like, okay, I really enjoy this, but I also enjoy chess. And I really found a love for chess. Not to the extent where I made it to like 1600, 1800, but like I got to around 1000 rapid, maybe closing on 1100. Like I think I got to like 900 blitz. And these aren't crazy numbers, but they're fairly intermediate for what I know. And I know there's so much theory out there to learn, but one thing I took away most in chess was that it's a science. It really is. It is something you can research and apply and reevaluate, and it teaches you a lot of very important skills that I find myself applying to fighting. Learning how to make the best of my opponent. What are weaknesses? What is he doing that is better than me? What is he doing better than me? What can I improve on? How do I get better? And just these very important questions for progression in oneself. I find myself getting attracted further down this road of studying these sciences that, though may not be like academic sciences, but very important. Like, fighting has a history that goes back very, very, very extensive, like a very extensive history. And I haven't got the chance so far to learn about this with a meaningful and like passionate search, but I'm finding myself that I get more into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, judo, wrestling, and just figuring out all these different ways to make a bout with the human body that you gain valuable experience from. And it is one thing to not want to fight, but it is a whole other thing not willing to learn how. And I've thankfully gone to a point where I'm willing to learn, and I am a good learner when it comes to the sense of I will shut up and listen and apply and just consistently ask, why am I doing what I'm doing? And I continue to improve, and I found that has been a structurally effective way of getting better with every day that goes by. And so I have Valedictorian coming up soon. I just have to write a 500-word essay, I think, about why Catholicism is important to me. And I can say a lot of different things about that. I mainly wanted to go off the idea that since I've been young, even my elementary teacher, Miss McKenna, suggested that I become a detective. She actually got very annoyed with me at one point. Reason why was because I asked so many damn questions, like a ridiculous amount. She limited me during like quizzes and like tests, like to only ask like around 3 questions. And it was funny, like we would joke about it, but I'm very thankful that that is where I originated, that I had such a curious mind when I was young, and it's transferred fairly well to this point. Someone I'm starting to look up to is like Lex Friedman. Very intellectual, like academically rich, but also just in life, and like I feel that we share a similar passion for just training and discipline. And here he is again. Get out of here, man. Go. I'm recording right now, man. Look at this guy. He wants to fight. Look at this. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go. Get out. This guy thinks he's something. So, where was I? Yeah. And so I find myself like watching his videos a lot more. And with Valedictorian coming up, I hope to share, at least on that essay, that since I've been a child, asking why and learning more has always been a very important pillar of my life. So, although I am personally, I'm a Muslim, I believe in Islam, Catholicism is still an important tree of knowledge to go under, because how can I feel confident in my beliefs if I don't understand the beliefs of others? At least respect the beliefs of others and learn. I don't know what that sound is, but and learn why people hold those values so highly. And I found that at least joining a Catholic school instead of a public school, since there's a generally established baseline for belief and consistent values, that you overall build a well-established community, and that community can go on to do many great things. And I find that being in a public school board and being in a Catholic school board, it is truly worlds apart. And I can say confidently, with no disrespect to what the public school board does, but the values that are held within Catholic education and the belief that's instilled in the students, it goes farther in the long run, because you're being taught at least an important historical lesson and why you're being taught so. And so I had only not taken grade 12 religion because of parental guidance, that's all, but I still found it fascinating going through my years of religious studies and branching off and learning about other religions. And I feel like going into that and exploring that path, and my essay, it's a 500 word essay, it's not too bad, it can set me apart in a unique manner, because everyone else, I believe, is Catholic, and so it can set me apart in a unique way. And I'm still answering the question of why Catholic education is important to me, but just in a very creative and inspiring way. At least I think so. And then after that, we have our 2 to 3 minute presentations. And then the students decide, and I think I have a solid shot at this, but God will choose the best path for me, and if that doesn't include valedictorian, then that's all right. That's fine by me. God is glory. And I find that I've been starting to attach myself more to religion and beliefs because it's given me a baseline and a moral kind of direction. And so I don't find myself being lost or alone anymore. I can always say that the people around me are great and good, and since I have started to dedicate myself as one of Allah's warriors, that my life has been better. Like I can solidly say that, and in the past it has, but I just didn't follow through with it. And everyone makes decisions happen for a reason, and I know I'm not the most devout and dedicated Muslim there is, but I am slowly transitioning into being a great Muslim, and though that so far hasn't meant praying 5 times a day, but I still continue to fast and to think of God at every turn and how it can positively impact at least the views on Islam and how I can represent Islam's pillars of belief. And there it is. I mean, I don't have much more to talk about other than what I've touched on. It's been a great day, alhamdulillah. It's just, in God's name, it's been great. So thank you all for tuning in. The Adidas hoodie is puffy as usual, and it has kept me fairly warm. Legs are a little bit freezing, but it's okay. YouTube, those are plastic guns. They are not real. Please do not flag my videos because of it. They are plastic. Thank you. So, with that being said, I think that's a wrap. 27 minutes, closing in on 28. And I'm getting tired. I'm going to go turn off that lamp in the background, turn off this light, which honestly is doing me justice. I'll be quite frank here. So with that, thank you all for tuning in. Giving this a view or a like or a subscription is much appreciated. My cat is banging on the window as usual. Stay wealthy, stay healthy, and stay happy, my friends. Have a good one.